What's going on, boys and girls? Well, guess what? It's Kentucky week, and I know a lot of Tennessee fans are still bitching about what happened last weekend in Tuscaloosa. Look, you got to get over it. You got to move on. It's that simple. If we look back at the beginning of this season, a lot of Tennessee fans, the ones that weren't delusional, and believe me, there was plenty of those, a lot of the Tennessee fan base and a lot of the talking heads said, look, this could be a year where Tennessee takes a step back offensively. We could be looking at 8-4, 9-3, or God forbid, 7-5. Folks, it ain't been that long where 7-5 for Tennessee was a great season. Let's not forget that. I'm not saying we want to go back there by any stretch. I fully expect this team to go out and get 10 wins again this year. Then what will everybody be saying at the end of the year? Something to think about. Georgia is not unbeatable. Yeah, they've won 24, is it 24, 20 some games in a row. They're on fire. They're the pardon the pun, they're the cat's meow in college football right now. But somebody is taking them down this year. Why not Tennessee? It's going to be at home. It's probably going to be a night game. At worst, it's a 3:30 game, which that's plenty of time for all of our fans to get drunk, liquored up, and ready for the game. So why can't we go get 10 wins? But I think in order for that to happen, Joe's got to go. It's that simple. It's time for Joe to go. And by go, I mean saddle up and run the daggum ball, Joe Milton. You can do it. We've seen you do it. We saw you do it down in Tuscaloosa. No more excuses from the fan base because, we're all coaches. We all know what the problem's been with Joe all year long and all his career. We all know that. We all know what plays should be called and when they should be called. Let's not forget that. Always keep that in mind. I'm a head coach in college football, or, well, not am. I should be. And so should you. Talking to you. My point is, Joe has got to run the ball, period. Some of us have been screaming it all year long. Why doesn't Joe run the ball more? He can run the ball. Then when he does run the ball, he looks timid. Why aren't you running over these little cornerbacks and safeties? You're way bigger. Lo and behold, what happens last Saturday? He starts running over defenders with authority. So we know you can do it. We know the knee is not a problem. We know the ribs or the back or the brain or the whatever is not the problem. Joe's got to go. I think we need to see Joe running it. Again, I'm a college football coach, so give me just a second to think about this. I think Joe should run it 6 to 10 times a game. And I don't mean getting flushed out of the pocket and running it. Yeah, he's going to have to do that some too because, let's face it, we're not working with the 98 offensive line or any of those great 90s and late 80s offensive lines. We're just not. Our offensive line is clearly somewhat of an issue, but they're good enough to win the rest of these SEC games. They just are. The offensive play calling has got to be smarter. Josh, I know you're watching. Stop going for it on 4th down inside your own freaking territory, depending on the situation. And please, for the love of God, when it's 4th and 1 or less than 1, stop lining up in shotgun. I don't want to hear this crap about, well, they don't practice taking snaps under center. Well, maybe they should. Why can't they take 5 or 10 minutes a day to practice that? Why can't Joe and his center, Cooper Mays, on their own personal time, take 10 to 15 minutes a day out there on the field to practice snapping the ball? How hard is that? If you want to win, sometimes you have to do things that you don't necessarily enjoy doing or want to do. And Joe Milton sticking his hands up Cooper Mays' ass is one of them. You might have to do it, Joe. Otherwise, we're going to continue to get stuffed on 4th down. Unless we just don't go for it and send our punter out there, who is an amazing punter, by the way. The dude's a weapon. Use him. Use him. As far as this Kentucky game goes, everybody keeps talking about the great running back at Kentucky. Okay, I maintain, as a fan who should be a college football coach, that any Vanderbilt running back that transfers somewhere else is not good. That's just my thinking. I said that wrong. What I meant to say is anybody that gets a running back from Vanderbilt, that's the way I meant to say that. You shouldn't be getting, a 5-star stud running back. Travis Henry, Travis Stevens, Tony Thompson, I'm going way back here. Chuck Webb, Reggie Cobb, Jamal Lewis, and the list goes on. You're not getting that out of Andy, and this guy is not that. He had 280 million yards against Florida because they've got a hoss for an offensive line at Kentucky. One of the better, if not one of the best, offensive lines in the SEC, and he talked about it after the game. Don't give me the credit. Give them big boys up front the credit. We got a pretty good defensive line. We should be able to slow that run game down enough to where he ain't running all day long on us. I think he may pop one. He may get 100 yards. But that's okay. Hell, he may get 150 yards. But we're going to sack Devin Leary so many times, it's going to push their rushing yard numbers back to at or under 100. Book it. Our defense is going to dominate this game. Joe Milton's going to run it. He's going to run it with authority. He's going to be somewhat accurate on his passing. He's going to pass for over 200 yards, and Tennessee's going to win this game 34-20, somewhere in that neighborhood. 2 touchdown or more win. Book it. I'm calling it. We're getting the road woes out of our system. And then we're going to Missouri the next week, and we're kicking their hind ends. So just get ready for it, Tigers. We got a couple of cats, a couple of pussies on the schedule, if you will, the next 2 weeks. Hey, they're cats. I can call them pussies. They're pussy cats. And we're going to go beat up on them. A lot of animals left on our schedule. We got 2 pussies. We got 2 dogs, because a husky is a dog. And who else? A Commodore. A door. Go figure. So look for Tennessee to get it turned around this weekend against Kentucky. I'll see you tomorrow night right here at 8 o'clock. And hopefully coming up in the very near future, a special VFL joining the show. Hope you'll keep watching. Hit that thumbs up. If you're new to my videos, hit the subscribe button. And I will holler at you soon. Sorry about the noise in the background. Hug your mom and daddy. Love you. Mean it. Go Vols. Screw y'all.